Hello, beautiful people. I'm wishing you guys a great start to your Friday and jumping in obviously with today's video on the fear of being different. This can be a huge one, and honestly, in all honesty, this has probably been one of my biggest fears that has, really stopped me and held me back over the years. And I've had times where I've been completely okay with that and really embraced being a little bit different, and other times I've really struggled with that, or held myself back, or kind of dimmed my light down a little bit, or wanted to hide, wanted to escape the world and not actually put myself out there in so many different ways. So please say good morning if you're just jumping on this morning as well. And as always, please feel free to ask any particular questions if this has been a particular challenge of yours. Often when we have this fear of being different, it can really take a lot of courage to actually share either our opinions, our thoughts, our beliefs, to truly express like who we are and who we're being in the world, or what we most value, or what we're excited, or what we're passionate about. And often we can really look to other people and their responses, or what they're talking, like going to other people and allowing them to like kind of lead. And that's not saying that that's always a bad thing. Of course, we want to be listening, and we want to be paying attention, and we want to be really present for other people, of course. But basically, like what can happen when we have this deeper fear of being different is really starting to look for are other people okay with what I'm saying? And we'll notice a lot of non-verbal communication around this. If somebody's kind of stepping back or looking at you a little bit funny, or just like, yeah, you think, like, really? And then we tend to shut down those ideas and shut all of that down in various ways. And what actually happens is that the world misses out. The world misses out on your uniqueness, on your unique expression, on your unique perspective, and we miss out on overall expansion as a result of that. When everybody's kind of coming together, imagine if we all thought exactly the same way. Imagine if years ago, one of the cave people didn't have the foresight or the idea about being adaptive, and even, I'm going to use a word which might sound a little strange, mutative. Mutative, it really just means that it's out of the norm, or it's doing something different to what everybody else is doing. Now imagine if that didn't occur years and years ago. We would all still be cavemen, literally. Hey Charles, good morning, darling. We would all be literally cavemen, still sitting around, cooking over the fire, because nobody had the courage to step outside of the current tribal beliefs, or the current beliefs of what was possible for them. There's no way that we would have a quarter of the inventions and the ideas and the prosperity that we have, and the ease of life that we have, as a result of people thinking differently and being differently. And it does take true courage, because often when we're embracing different ideas, and perhaps, if we're influenced by those around us, or we have a deeper need or a deeper fear of needing to please people, needing to get their approval, all of those things, certainly things I've had to work through over the years and continue to work through, then what we actually do is we diminish ourselves, we diminish our ideas, we diminish our own genius and the brilliance and our vital and right place in the world. Every single person adds perspective, adds a depth to humanity that when we are not appreciating that, or we're not actually allowing that for ourselves or for others, then the world misses out on so much value in such a deep place. So please let me know if this is resonating for you. Hey Jen, lovely to have you on this morning, darling. Please say hi if you're jumping on. And, perhaps asking yourself, where does this fear present for you? Is it, when you're in group situations? Is it with specific people? Is it that you have a fear of speaking up, perhaps at work, where you've got some brilliant ideas on how to shift things, or how to change things, or how operations could run more smoothly, but you don't actually speak up for fear of being shot down, or somebody else, getting cranky or angry or disapproving of you, or any of those things? We are hardwired. Good morning, Sal. Lovely to have you on, honey. We are hardwired to be accepted, to belong, and to fit in. And any time that this core belief that I'm being too different, or I'm too weird, or I'm too different, any of that, anytime that comes up, hey Diana, lovely to have you on, honey. It really pushes against some of those deeper fears that we've literally been hardwired as babies to belong and fit in, because our very survival depends on it as well. So it's really important that we're embracing that courage. Now, how do we embrace deeper courage? To truly express ourselves authentically, to express our unique perspective, to express our unique ideas, particularly in the face of receiving disapproval from others. And again, you know, this can be, hey Ruth, lovely to have you on, darling. This can be one of the bigger challenges that I really think that we come up against in as humans. And the closer that we are to somebody, the more we can find that we filter ourselves as well, or suppress those parts of ourselves that we don't really think that is okay for somebody to see, or we're ashamed of, or we're scared that we're going to be rejected. And this is where that feminine essence of true vulnerability, in being vulnerable, in having the courage to be yourself fully, where nothing else is more important than really allowing the fullness of who you are to be expressed. And because really that is the greatest gift. And I know certainly for me, this has been a huge part of, you know, suppressing a lot of my energy, or just over the years, just such a deep fear of being different. And what actually happens when we're actually doing that, it takes so much more energy to hold back, to not show our bigness or our light, or to express who we actually are. It takes so much energy to suppress everything that we're feeling or thinking that is there. It's a creative urge. It's creativity literally flowing through you. It's creative energy flowing through you that needs to be expressed, that wants to be expressed. And when we're constantly squashing that back down or pushing that back down, sometimes that can be through food, sometimes that can be through other addictions like smoking or drinking or shopping or anything, but to feel the realness of who we actually are. And it really does take away from our health, our vitality, our relationships, because truthfully, like, how can you have a deep and intimate relationship if you're still being guarded, if you're still putting walls up, if you're not willing to be vulnerable in that moment and have the courage to express maybe to your partner that, hey, actually, I don't actually agree with that. I have a different thought or a different perspective around that. That doesn't mean that we can't be, you know, truly compassionate, truly loving, truly understanding, truly present. And often when we're starting to shift and change this, it can be, you know, a little bit clunky in how it comes out. I know for me, particularly, you know, there was a bit of passive aggressive stuff that kind of used to come out when I'd start to express, you know, how I was really feeling about something, or even asking for some of my deeper needs that I didn't feel okay, or I felt guilty, or I felt bad, or I felt unloving for asking for. So it can be definitely like a process around that. You know, as I refined that process, I got better and better over the years of not feeling so threatened or not feeling so defensive that if I express this thing, somebody's going to attack me back. It was really just like me speaking my truth and speaking my heart. And if you want a way of shortcutting that, don't speak from your head. Speak from your heart. Speak from your truth of who you are, and speak from that place of love of, I'm just going to express like who I am and what's meaningful to me, or what matters to me most. Now, if we're getting caught up in life, if we are distracted and we are constantly busy, go, then it's really difficult to actually know, number one, what is important to you, and number two, what matters most to you and what you actually really do want. I think as women, we get so adaptable and so flexible at meeting everybody else's needs and anticipating everybody else's needs, that we're like, yep, they need this, they need that, and this is what they need from me, that we forget in essence who we actually really are. And I certainly lost myself over the years. And this was quite a few years ago, but I had certainly lost myself entirely because I was so scared of being who I truly was and expressing, you know, my spirituality and some of my beliefs around that. Because when I did, it felt like I got completely shut down. In fact, that was just a reflection of my own judgment or my own fears about who I was and what that meant for me belonging and being accepted in the world. And it was in truth because I was trying to get love from others. other people rather than be the love that I truly am and express my genuine self as an expression of that love. Two totally different things. And when we can come back and heal those shadow aspects within ourselves, a very good morning. Hey Helen, hey Monique, and hey Jen, lovely to see you guys on here. And hey Nicole and Tesh, Tisha, lovely to see you on here, and Dee, big love to you, darling. So yeah, when we really step into that space of really embracing our own self-love, that is in truth what gives us the courage to express our own authenticity more and more. Because if we get rejected, you've still got yourself to fall back on, right? Like, you know, that's the, I guess, the risk that we take. And you know, when we're living our fullest life, when we're expressing all of who we are, it is risk. And I remember I was having this conversation with a dear friend, you know, it was only even a couple of weeks ago, and I remember having this profound thought. I think I was definitely driving, because I remember driving at the time, but I was only young. I was like 18 or 19. I remember having this profound thought that, oh my God, like, why do we even pretend to be someone or something that we're not? Because how do we even know that that's actually what people want us to be, or that we're going to be liked for that? And then it was just like, that's weird. Like, why would we even do that? And then I went, oh my God, it's because it's actually less scarier to be rejected for something that we know in our heart that we're not, than to be rejected for the truth of who we actually are. So it's less riskier to kind of like put on these pretense, or, you know, just even be like, oh yeah, no, I don't really care about that thing. Or, you know, so many ways that we are not honest or truthful. You can just think about it. Like, if somebody says to you, hey, do you want to go out for tea tonight? And you might be tired and you might be like, oh, I really can't be bothered. Like, oh, well, I guess so. Oh, yeah, that sounds good. Or, what do you want for tea? And you'd be like, oh, it doesn't matter. Like, you pick. But underneath you're going, oh, I really want Indian, or I really want Thai, or I really want, you know, Chinese, or I really feel like a steak, or I really want vegetarian or vegan, you know, like, and we're just like, oh, no, it doesn't matter. Like, I'll eat wherever. And then, like, you go there, and then internally you're kind of pissed, like going, oh, well, I really didn't want this. Like, why are we even here? Like, how many times do we actually do that? And I'm not pointing any fingers. I've done all of it. And I know for myself the truth of really speaking my honest truth. And I love the space that my partner and I have really stepped into, is really like, and the core, I guess, what am I trying to say? The core thing that we both want to learn the most out of our relationship. So this is like the foundation really of our relationship, is to help each other honor ourselves individually. Because when we honor ourselves individually, we know automatically that the relationship will thrive. We've done it the other way, where we were trying to honor each other more, or make each other more important, and it often leads to anger and resentment and not living your own authentic truth, and it didn't work very well for us. And so we've had a lot of conscious conversations around it, and in truth it's led to greater and greater intimacy. Sorry, the sun's just peeping through there now, it's straight in my eyes, so I may not be able to read too much on the screen. Hey Brad, lovely to have you on. Hey Sandra, hey Erica, lovely to see you guys on here. So really, really important in really stepping into your own truth around anything, and just ask yourself, you know, before you answer, is this my honest truth? Is this really how I'm feeling? And if it's not, I would really encourage you to stretch into expressing what's actually really going on for you. And like I said, it does take courage, and it does take a foundation of self-love. And self-love comes in lots of different levels. You know, like some people say, oh, I don't love myself very much. I can promise you, if you're getting out of bed and you're getting up and you're going to work, or you're taking care of kids, you know, you're having a shower, you're brushing your teeth, you're feeding yourself each day, you definitely have self-love, because you wouldn't do any of those things if you didn't have a certain level of self-love. You may still berate yourself, you may still have your inner critic. I have all of the above. It's kind of part of being human. And the more that we can love ourselves, the more that we can rise above and beyond that and go, oh, that's just my ego, or that's my own shadow side. I'm going to send it love because clearly it's feeling scared, or it's freaking out about something, or it's freaking out. Like my inner child freaks out when I do anything that is completely different, or when I want to speak up about something. She gets incredibly anxious, incredibly scared, and I have to bring oodles of self-love to her and self-reassurance so that my nervous system calms down enough for me to truly express that. Whenever you're having a reactive moment, so if you're getting really angry or really expressive, or like an inner tanny, like we've all done, I'm sure, I'll speak for myself again, whenever that's kind of coming out, it is your inner child, like literally hijacking your mind. It's taking over the program, and it's like running the show because he's freaking out right now. It's feeling insecure, or it's feeling scared, or it's feeling threatened in some way, which comes out as anger, or comes out as resentment, or comes out in, various ways. Obviously, it might even be submissive. I certainly know for myself, like I used to really, dull down my energy, or retract or contract my energy, kind of pull myself back in, almost like wearing an invisible cloak so I didn't stand out, so people wouldn't see me, because I had so much shame still attached to being different or to feeling different. So just like, hopefully, some of that may or may not resonate for you, and really help to step into that truth of who you really are, and just start to express yourself a little bit more. Really, even if it's just starting with yourself, honestly, that's the best place to start, because we can lie to ourselves pretty much and pretty easily as human beings, and just going, oh, it doesn't really matter. Oh, no, it doesn't. Oh, I shouldn't be worried about this. I shouldn't be upset about this. And we minimize ourselves, and we invalidate not only ourselves, but our feelings all the time, through that need to not upset people, not rock the boat, not make a fuss, not do any of those things. So it can be really challenging when we're doing that. Hey Lisa, great to have you on here, sweet. Wow, that sun's like really coming out now. It was like cloudy when I first jumped on here. It was lovely, subtle light. Anyway, it's all perfect. So yeah, I really hope that helps you guys. Like I was started to say before, I know for me personally, like anytime I'm suppressing any of my creative energy, suppressing all of who I am, or even parts of myself, for fear of being rejected, fear of being judged, fear of not being accepted, fear of not belonging, people calling me weird, or being angry, or, just rocking the boat in general. That takes tremendous energy to hold all that down, and can often result in burnout, adrenal fatigue, in feeling powerless to be able to change our situation, in feeling powerless to really be the truth of who we are, and to bring our greatest gifts to the planet in this beautiful tapestry of humanity, and remembering that all those different perspectives, all those different mutations and adaptations that we come up with, all those different creative ideas that maybe you dismiss as silly, or wrong, or bad, or stupid, or like any of those things, please, I invite you to really sit with those things, to really embrace those things within yourself, and start to express those more and more. You have a precious and vital right place in the world, and we're here to fully express that, and the world is different without you actually doing that. So whenever you can really step in and embrace that even more for yourself, you bring such a great gift to the world by doing that. And I've been diving into, thanks so much Lisa, and yes, it is beautiful sunshine, definitely Helen, and hey Jerry, lovely to have you on. So the more that we can truly embrace this within ourselves, and like I was just about to say, I've been jumping into the Gene Keys this week, and it's just been I've been doing this journey for like probably the last 2 or 3 weeks, just this beautiful unraveling, and it really speaks into this particular Gene Key, which the shadow of it is being mediocre. It's like dulling ourselves down to fit in, to try and belong, to not stand out. And it's this fear of being different and being seen as different in the world, or being too much of something. And the gift, when we embrace that fear of being different, and we accept the shadow of being mediocre or living in mediocrity. And I don't mean that in any judgmental way or anything else, but when you embrace the uniqueness of who you are, you get to embrace the gift of exquisiteness. And that, you know, some people might perceive that as in our beauty or our exterior, you know, physical image. But for me, that exquisiteness really comes back to your exquisite and amazing nature of who you actually really are. And we are all diamonds with all these beautiful facets and all these beautiful different unique ways of shining and expressing our gift into the world. And I think that that is just such a beautiful way of really stepping in and embracing our exquisite nature of who we actually really are, and being able to bring that to the world. So good morning, Brooke, and hey James, great to have you on here. So loads of love to you all, so much gratitude. Thank you so much for tuning in, for watching. And as always, if this has been supportive for you or helpful or resonated in any particular way, or you've got a dear friend or somebody that you love that you know, you'd like to start a conversation about this and start a conversation of being extra real and extra honest with each other and taking that intimacy at that deeper level, then I really encourage you to do that. And I love the word intimacy. One of my mentors used to break that down and say, into me I see. Because if I'm shutting myself off from being the truth of who I am, how does somebody else get to experience that in relationship with me as well? So it's just a really beautiful a way of really taking your intimate relationship or your relationships, your friendships, everything to that next depth, and really seeing each other for the truth of who you are, really seeing the gift of exquisiteness in each other, in who you truly are. So have an amazing day. Thank you for all of your beautiful comments. Hey Ange, great to have you on. Thanks so much, Jen. Oh, that's beautiful, darling. I'm so pleased that that resonated for you, and big love. And hey Lynn, happy birthday for the other day, darling. I hope you had a great day, and thank you, Erica. I will have an amazing day as well. Loads of love and gratitude to you all. And if this is something that you're really struggling with too, remember that there's my Facebook group, Thrive, which is all about really stepping into that space for ourselves as women, overcoming burnout, and even just, you know, loss of energy, fatigue, exhaustion. So I'll pop the link below. Please feel free to jump in and to share that group with others as well if you know other women that may be struggling with this in some way, shape or form. So have an amazing day. Loads of love. Bye.